Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. This is Richard. I'm going to teach you guys some of the things that I did to learn myself and teach myself how to paraglide without any instruction. And I learned everything from YouTube. So there's a few steps that I have written out here for you guys, and it's pretty important to do pretty much all of them, at least in terms of my recommendation for it. So the first thing is research. Okay, so go out there and research what is paragliding. You probably already have a good concept watching the video, but what kind of things do I need, and what's the best paraglider and rig for me and for my altitude and winds and location. So go out there, do your research. I went on Craigslist, found a whole bunch of stuff, went on to Google, searched a whole bunch of places, locations. I'll put up a great website, which is a really good resource for paragliding in pretty much the whole world. It has locations, what's required at the locations, if you need a license, which paragliding licenses are a bit pricey, and that's the main reason why I didn't go into it in terms of getting the official training. It's just a bit over my price budget, if you will, because you have to buy your paraglider, your gear, and then you have to buy the training. And training will run you about $1,500. It depends on your location. So that's the main thing that you should do is research. Should I get training if I know nothing about it? I started off doing skydiving. Got my license for the accelerated freefall in skydiving, and so for me, parachutes was a rather familiar thing. My buddy, since he didn't do any of that, went to hang gliding, and he's enjoyed it a bit, and he taught himself as well. So really go out there and research what's the best thing that'll fit you, and what's the best thing for your area and location. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get your gear. You look on Craigslist, what's the best price. I recommend Craigslist, that's where I got all my gear. It's pretty simple, but sometimes locations and people aren't selling them in your area and things like that, which can be a problem, so you can look on eBay, things like that. Also look at the lifespan. How long is this thing expected to last before it needs to get a inspection or things like that. And it's pretty important, and that goes as well with reserve parachutes, which I most definitely recommend getting one. And you also have to make sure that is this model and the year that this is from the company, is it is made, is it good, is it in good condition. Really taking a look at what it's been through, how many patches, or if there's any patches, things like that are very important. One paraglider has this really great price, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get this one. But look on for some reviews on YouTube and throughout the internet, and some instructors said that if this was given to their flight school, they wouldn't even let the devil, if he enrolled in their school, fly this because of how crappy the paraglider is and how unforgiving. So always make sure that you take a look at some YouTube reviews, and really understand what you're buying. Okay, so you have your gear. Next thing that you want to do is kiting, and that's where you're in a field, like a soccer field or football field, and I'd recommend definitely doing it in one of these with about 5 knots wind or so. Just practice bringing it up. Grab your A-lines, your A-risers, and bring it right up overhead, and try and control it on the ground. See if you can keep it up as long as you can, continuously stepping in the direction of the wind, where the wind's coming from. And then you want to run with it. And this means you run the length of the football field or the soccer field till you get to the end. This gives you a good idea for starting your maneuvering towards the edge of the cliff or the mountain where you can jump off. And then you want to try in different conditions. Your different conditions would be maybe you have a faster wind or a lighter wind, something like that. And so it's really important that you really get it into some of these conditions, because if you don't want to be on the top of a mountain and be dragged down because you didn't do it in this kind of conditions, so you want to make sure that you're comfortable with these conditions. Next is that you want to have 50 successful runs, and that means from the length of the football field, from one end all the way to the other, with keeping it overhead, having that nice controllability, so that you can really continue with your development and learning before you jump off any kind of hill or anything. So 50 successful runs. So here's a couple clips of some buddies who are doing some kiting, just learning out in the early stages here. Here he's running backwards with a really light wind, trying to get the canopy up so he's nice and comfortable. and he's going to bring it up here in just a little bit. And you'll see how the wind direction is important, as well as how how fast you tug on it. So see, it's listing over here to the right, to the left. And so what he needed to do was really make sure that whatever area was stalling, he was able to bring it up and then control it by pulling on the different brakes. So here he brings it up once again, and make sure that you're running into the wind, because here it goes down once again because part of it stalls. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your kiting, and you'll be pretty good. There's lots of really good YouTube videos on how to do some really great kiting. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is take a look at some of the airspace and regulations that fall under that. In the United States, we are mandated that if we're going to fly these paragliders, that we have to follow FAR Part 103, which is Federal Aviation Regulation Part 103, which is ultralight aircraft. So in this will tell you things like your weight, that you can't be above a certain weight for your aircraft, as well as you're not allowed to fly faster than, I think, 55 knots. So as well as airspace, where you are and what you can't fly into, congested areas, airports that have control towers, things like that. And so it's really good to take a look at this and see where you are and where that kind of falls into, which then leads into aviation charts, because aviation charts has all the information that you would need to know about where you're flying in terms of from a regulation standpoint. It'll show you airports and things like that, as well as restricted areas that you are not allowed to fly into. So take a look at both of these, FAR Part 103. It'll also say things like you're not allowed to fly at night and things like that. And take a look at your aviation charts so you can really look at where you are in reference to where you need to be. One really good site is SkyVector. I'll put a link at the bottom of the video. This is just a quick view at SkyVector here. You can see I've located with this red arrow what's called a TFR, temporary flight restriction, can't go there. Some of these lines here say restricted, so you can't fly in there as well. So if you're at this little blue circle here, you really have to make sure you don't fly into an airport, which I've circled in red here as well. So it really is important to take a look at it, and there's a lot of really good videos on understanding aviation charts, and I definitely recommend taking a look at those on YouTube. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is getting into the air. Things to expect, things that you might be a little unsure about. So the way you want to do this is you want to start at a small hill, and this is very important, that you take a look at your hill in terms of its landing area. Are there any obstructions of the wind? Because if you have wind that's coming over a ridge, you can get what's called a rotor. It's where the air spools up and that can collapse your canopy, which is a pretty serious situation. But you also want to look at not just the elevation change, but you also want to look at the landing area. If there's a bunch of rocks, that's going to be dangerous for your ankles, or if you trip or something like that, because then once you trip, the canopy can definitely drag you for a good distance. So start at this small hill and gain experience. Do it a bunch of times. See what kind of different conditions you get in the air. It's pretty simple with using your brake toggles, and really trying to avoid a lot of these issues that you can have with aerodynamic instabilities and what they call machine turbulence, which is like something coming off of a building, like wind coming off of a building, which can cause rotors as well. So really take a look at your area and go out there and have some fun. I'm going to put some videos of me going off a small hill and then moving up from there. So thanks for watching, guys. That's how to paraglide in just 10 minutes. There you go.
See your body hanging out.